How to out-kick Donnie Yen, a.k.a. Eat Mom, plus Donnie Yen's bullshit street fight bata story. We're gonna expose his bullshit story in this video, and here's why. Unlike most YouTubers, I'm a certified badass. This is the Dutch National Blue Pass for bouncers. Okay, there's a specific diploma for bouncers. We earn quite a bit of money here in Holland. This is the Blue Pass. This is the Mexican Bodyguard Bouncer VIP badge. Okay, I was a bouncer in the most exclusive club of the country, in the most dangerous city in the world, in Acapulco. I will link all that stuff at the end and below for you guys to see videos on that. Okay, so on top of that, I'm a master in Hapkido. I'm a master in Taekwondo. Where? Well, here, JK Taekwondo in Los Angeles. My master is Grandmaster Jin King Lim. Check me, puto. Okay, and also the information of my badge and my number will be also in the description below, so you guys can look that up. And you know, I will post a picture of my diploma, my bouncer diploma, on my community. On top of that, like I was saying, I'm a 4th degree Taekwondo black belt. I'm a 4th degree Hapkido black belt. So I'm a and Taekwondo. I've competed in judo. I've competed in karate. I have fought in MMA in Mexico in the ring. Okay, I'm a national Taekwondo champion, state champion, and I've also fought kickboxing. Not to mention, I've been a bouncer in 4 countries, not just Holland and Mexico, also the United States and Spain. Okay. That said, yes, I am a certified badass, so I do know what I'm talking about. In this video, we're gonna talk about, first of all, Donnie's street fight bullshit and why him fighting 8 people is BS. Okay, after that, we're gonna go on to how to kick better than him. And at the end of the video, as always with this series, I'm going to have a bonus surprise for you guys. So far as I've heard, there was no weapon involved, there was no gun involved, okay? No gun involved, which, you know, it's China, so the fact that there was no gun involved with these 8 guys, or these 8 guys, no one had a gun, that could be believable. But also, no knives, okay, of any kind. No knives, so no gun, no knives. Okay, so none of these 8 guys that are out there in the street making trouble, none of them have guns and knives. You know, what a coincidence. That's the first thing, but you know what? Let's just give that a pass and move to the next part of the video. I'm gonna give you guys an example of me getting into fight with more people than 8 people and how it really turns out in reality before I go into bashing why Donnie Yen's story is bullshit. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit the bell button so you don't miss out on nothing, comment, all that good stuff helps the channel. Remember, certified badass, Dutch bouncer, Mexican bouncer, VIP bodyguard, master, fighter, street fighter, all of the above. Like, subscribe, comment, hit the bell button, notifications, smash it, smash all that, comment below and all that so you don't miss out on nothing. Now, going on to the rest of this, okay? I'm gonna give you guys a story of mine where I knocked out 3 people, okay? In one night, in less than a 5-minute time frame at the end of the night. I'm gonna give you guys a story real quick about this, and I will also link a video about this story at the end of the video where I actually tell you guys what I told the cops and what they told the cops. But in this story, I'm going to tell you guys real quick what really happened that night, because it's been more than 5 years now, so I cannot self-snitch anymore. At this point, I'll be self-snitching, but it doesn't matter because they cannot press charges on me for what happened anymore. So, quiet night, and a lot of things happened, but it was still a quiet night. Nothing major happened. I was helping 2 security guards escort a few guys. 2 guys or 3 guys, I'm not sure, I don't remember. But the first guy we got out, we threw out, and then the other bouncers threw out the other guys. And then once I'm outside, the doors behind me closed. Next thing you know, I'm outside with like at least 30, maybe 40 dudes outside, which all don't like me at that point because I threw this guy out, right? Now, the guy that I threw out comes at me like this, with his hands like this, like he's about to punch me, and he's way taller than me. So I left high kick him, he goes down. And then I start walking in this direction, because I thought the door behind me was closed. I start walking in this direction, and I go around the whole crowd of 30, 40 people, hoping they won't just jump me. But at this point, none of them came at me because they seen how I knocked the other guy out. And he had, by the way, he has a big scar from here to here in his face. The cops later showed me the pictures, which honestly I thought was kind of funny. But because my boot hit his face and the guy thought I had punched him. I'm like, you know, I wish I could punch that hard and leave a mark like that on someone's face. It was my boot. Like, I was honest with the cops about that part, but you guys can see that at the end of the video that I linked. So I go around and I go to the back. Next thing I know, when I'm over there, a bouncer, a big bouncer I hadn't seen that was with us, he was in the dark. He grabbed me and picked me up. I'm like, bro, let me go. I noticed he was a bouncer. He was a big guy too. Luckily, he was one of the bouncers and not some guy from the crowd. He lets me go. And then as soon as he lets me go, some guy that was in the crowd, the guy that wasn't that tall, a little guy, he came up because he was crazy enough and he was on enough drugs to come up and try to fight me. So he lets me go and I have this guy in front of me. He goes into a fighting stance. I go into a fighting stance. He comes at me. I give him a side kick. And he literally just flew backwards and landed on the back of his head like flat. Bam! On the ground. And he was just there out. Like his eyes were open like this. And his lips were open. But he was staring up. And he was completely out. I remember walking up with the bouncer looking at him. And he's like, yeah, this one's out. He deserved it though. He's always causing trouble, he said, or something like that, the bouncer, right? Next thing I know, my boss comes out. And Ramonov, Stas Ramonov is his name. He's a fighter from Mexico. You guys can look him up. Stas Ramonov. He owns a security company. So you guys can check with him if the story is legit. At Mike's gym, he knows the story. Many people know the story. So he comes out and he tells me, AJ, come on. I go back around the crowd and they still do nothing. 30, 40 guys did nothing. Why? They just see me knock out 2 people. Okay, so they go back, we all go back in, and besides the bouncers who are out there too, so they're not gonna like fight me who knocked out 2 people, plus all the other bouncers. But at the end of the day, it was only like 4 or 5 other bouncers that were there with them, plus me, that's 6. 6 against 30, 40. They still didn't do shit. Why? Because they know they're gonna be the next ones to get knocked out. No one wants to get knocked out. So I go back in, everybody's already being told to leave in this event. And I go back and I go talk to Leontine, who was my girlfriend at the time. And I'm standing next to her. She's also security guard, bouncer. We own the company together. Our company was hired in by Stas Ramonov. So all the problems that happened because we're using our own passes, our own security passes, these from her company, then like all the problems we get legally come to us, not him, even though he hired us. So I go up there and I'm like, I just knocked out 2 people. She's like, no, you did it. I'm like, yeah, I did. And I'm standing like right next to her like this. She's right here, I'm right here. There was a photographer there from that night and some customer that was just chilling there. So it was the 4 of us. And I'm looking at the door, because I'm thinking they might come back in, you know. They're not just gonna let that slide, what just happened outside. So I was very aware of which angle they would come from because they could only come from my right side angle. So, you know, we're chilling there, there's still some people. And the next thing I know, 3 of those dudes from outside decided to come back in with the excuse of like that they lost something, a jacket or something, and the stupid bouncers let them back in. So they came in specifically looking to kick my ass. And this was in a town called Snake, which is in Friesland, and these people are very violent. Like they'll hit women too. They would have beat up Leontine too. My girlfriend, maybe even the photographer, just because she was there. So next thing I know, I see 3 dudes coming at me. The guy in the middle was very tall. By tall, I mean tall. I mean like 1 meter 95, 2 meters. So like way over 6 feet, 6'4", 6'5" maybe. I don't know how much that is at the moment. But the guy, they're coming at me. The guy in the middle is really walking hard like this, like he's about to F me up. So what I do is, I'm standing like this, she's here. I sidestep this way, and then I do a sliding forward, spinning kick to the head, and I kick him as hard as I can. Like as hard as I can, guys. I kicked him so hard, my foot bounced back from his head. So instead of me kicking him and then going through, my foot literally bounced back. I couldn't get through his foot. I felt like I just kicked the wall like this. So as soon as I connect, I bring my leg back, way far back, and I'm thinking, maybe I didn't even hurt this guy, right? Wrong. I hit him so hard right here. His eyes turned like this to the back of his head. His arms were like this, like he was frozen in the mode that he was in the motion he was in. And then next thing I know, he collapses like a tree. Bots! And what happened with the other 2 guys? One ran and the other one started recording and talking shit. And Leontine at that point started helping the guy. She put him on his left side and she gave me a look like, this motherfucker's gonna die and you're going to jail. That's the kind of look she gave me. And then the guy was telling Stas Ramonov, my boss, the MMA fighter, kickboxer from Mike's gym that owns the company, he was telling him the story about how I wheel kicked him and how he went down and how he might die, etc., etc., etc. The bouncers, when the guy woke up, because we had to kick that guy out. And then when the guy finally woke up, the other bouncers told him he had slipped and fell, as if that's going to fly in the long run. The thing about getting knocked out is people don't remember shit after they get knocked out. You don't remember nothing. The point of this story, guys, is Donnie Yen claims he was at a club and that his girlfriend was being bothered and then he beat up 8 people. 8 people. So all 8 kept coming at him, right? He knocked out one, knocked out a second one, and they all kept coming at him like it's a fucking movie. None of them died, right? They all just went to the hospital. None of them ran. He like in a movie, they all came, they all attacked, or he attacked all of them until they were all out on the ground and shit. All 8. Well, let me tell you guys something. That fucking literally never happens. That's how I know this story is bullshit. I've been bouncing since, let me see, how many, I got about 20 years experience bouncing in 4 different countries, and I've seen it all. I've seen shootings, I've seen kidnappings, I've seen fights, I've seen brawls, I've seen all kinds of people against 2, all kinds of people against 1. And one thing that always happens when groups attack smaller groups, as soon as 1 gets knocked out, or 2 get knocked out, at the most 2, that's it. The rest run. They run, or they freeze. Like in this case, the second guy froze, the guy that stayed there. I knocked out the first guy, the third guy ran, and the second guy froze and stayed there and then started to record because he figured I gotta do something because I'm just standing around, right? But my point is, that's bullshit. So none of them died either. Like come on guys, people hit the pavement on the ground and they get severely hurt. Now, if the story had been he knocked out 2 people, the rest ran, or 3, the rest ran, and he got hurt a little bit, maybe 2, then maybe I believe it. You know, but the fact that putting 8 people in the hospital seems like a publicity stunt for me for his fucking movies, I don't believe it. And then last but not least, you guys know how the story is bullshit. You guys really want to know when the last thing why the story is bullshit? Think about it. How many fucking movies does this guy make? A lot of stupid movies, right? This is a true story. Why has there been no movie made on this? Because people will look into it, like I have, and they will realize that the fucking story is bullshit. And what surprises me the most is how the Chinese news, and maybe even the Chinese government, I'm not sure the Chinese government has anything to do with this, but we do know one thing, right? The Chinese government doesn't like their Chinese martial arts getting exposed. Like that MMA fighter that beat up the Tai Chi guy and that Ip Man type fighter. Not only one, he beat up like 2 or 3. You know, he has a lot of problems in China now because he exposed their bullshit. So, you know, at the end of the day, that story is bullshit. And Ip Man, Donnie Yen, he's not even that skilled. Like, have you guys seen him fight? Have you guys seen him spar? He's just a movie guy, okay? You know, and if Bruce Lee was still alive, I don't think he would like the Ip Man movies. Bruce Lee moved away from that. Like, Ip Man was Bruce Lee's first instructor. He moved away from all that Tai Chi, Wing Chun bullshit towards like when the time he made Jeet Kune Do. He was punching like a boxer, he's kicking like a mix of a taekwondo guy and a karate guy. Like come on guys, like Bruce Lee evolved, okay? Stop the Ip Man bullshit. That shit doesn't work, those movies are stupid. To be the best kicker, part 5. So, Donnie Yen's is leg holding, okay? When he does leg holding kicks, you guys can see a video, we'll link at the end. If you guys really want to see it, I'll link it here above, okay? Where I kick Donnie Yen. I kick his ass with kicks, I compare his kicks to mine. His kicks are at chest level, his leg holding kicks are right here. For some reason, he only does them at chest level, even though he does go this far into the splits. Not going all the way, he'll hold himself looking like he's in pain. You guys will see that in the video that I link. I also link it at the end, I also link it below. But that said, if you want to kick better than Donnie Yen, you have to do one thing to start off with. Full splits would help, that's one. Full splits always help. Don't believe Sensei Seth and Scott Atkinson's bullshit on splits. They don't know what they're talking about.